Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again, and we're still looking at the main set Ether Drift Commanders, well, Legends that I'm turning into Commander decks, and it's the second god I'm going to cover today. Ketramose, the New Dawn, 1 white and black for a 4/4 legendary god. Has Menace, Lifelink, and Indestructible, so, yep, I like those set of stats on a 4/4 for 3 mana. That's completely fine by me. However, Ketramose can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Right. And whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your graveyards and all the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card and lose a life. Right, okay, but yeah, okay, 7 cards in exile. Yeah, okay, we can do that. There's ways of doing that, but we can also look at blinking creatures to a certain extent because they go to the exile zone, they come back again. Blinking's better in blue-white. What else can we look at? Oh yeah, adventures. Here we go. Yeah, adventures. You cast the adventure side, the creatures go to exile, therefore they're in the exile zone, therefore you can get to attack with Ketramose quite quickly. I've read the rules correctly this time. So, here we go. 27 creatures, most of which have an adventure side too. So, Cheeky Mouse starts at the beginning. It's still a 2/1 for 1 mana, which is reasonable in any deck, I feel, still. And target creature gets +1/+1 at the end of turn, and it can't be blocked by creatures with power of 3 or greater this turn. It's lovely if you can do the whole squeak by on Ketramose if you've got Ketramose active already, because it's very difficult for them to then block. So, yeah, especially with Menace. Anyway, Fairy Guide Mother, another adventure creature, does the whole pumping and flying, and then can come in as a 1/1 if we need to. Foul Midnight, card draw, lose a life, death touch. Then, January Dauntless General, when it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. If you can hold off and play this late in the game when people have already cast spells, there's things in graveyards, it helps you hit those 7 cards you need in exile to make sure Ketramose can attack. So she's here. There's not that many humans. There's a few humans. There's not a humongous amount of humans in the decks you can imagine. So the second ability it really doesn't matter that much. But could come into play. We've got Order of Midnight. So we can turn target creature card from our graveyard to our hand, which is quite actually works quite nicely if we have sacrificed Jinri, or for some reason we can bring it back if we need to. Senu Keen Eye Protector comes in from the Assassin's Creed set. Tap and exile Senu Keen Eye Protector, we gain 2 life and scry 2. And then whenever a legendary creature you control attacks and it isn't blocked, Senu, and if Senu is exiled, you can put it onto the battlefield attacking. Works really nicely with Ketramose. Let's go with Ketra because I'm not sure how you say it properly, so we'll go with Ketra. Anyway, Shepherd of the Flog. Yep, 3/1, and the adventure side is to return the target permanent to its hand. Shrouded Shepherd. Nice one, this one. I quite like this one. Black and 1. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until the end of turn. And then you can play the Shepherd side for when it enters target creature we control gets +2/+2. But it's a 2 mana 2/2 at the end of the day. So again, not bad. Silver Flame Squire is next. +2/+2 to a creature and untap it at instant speed, or 2/1. And then we have Tiamat, Chosen from Death. Another way of us exiling 2 target cards from graveyards, and we gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. It's just a great way of making sure we can carry on exiling cards as we need to, so bear that in mind. Likewise, Withered Wretch does that for us as well, but just paying 1 mana. An exile and target card from a graveyard, get it into exile, we'll get there. Just remember, when cards go to exile, it's very hard to get them back, therefore once you've got the 7 there, you can stop worrying about it so much because Ketra will be able to attack whenever they're in play. Yarrick's Fenlearner, when it enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand. Yep, that's 3 cards to kick off with for 2 mana. Happy with that. Conceited Witch, have a Wicked token on a creature and then Menace if we need to. That's all the sorcery side. I'm not going to go through more. Grey Slade mill 4, and then as long as we have 4 more creature cards in our graveyard, Grey Slade has Menace and Death Touch, but it's a 4/1 that will die very easily to anything. Gumdrop Poison is a bit more fun though. Have a food token, okay, and then enters the battlefield. Target creature gets -X/-X to the end of the turn, where X is the life we've gained this turn. So if you've got them with Ketra, so that's 4, sack the food, that's 7. You can technically give something -7/-7 for 6 mana. not bad, not great, but not bad. Murderous Rider, classic adventure card. Sin Collector lets us exile an instant or sorcery from an opponent's hand, so another way of exiling card. Besotted Knight gives us the Royal Roll token, and then we get a 3/3 creature eventually. Demon Lord of Ashmoth enters the battlefield, exile it unless you sacrifice another creature. Okay, so I'll pay 4 mana to exile this if I need to. Hopefully I'll just be able to sacrifice a creature to keep it around, because a 5/4 with flying and undying can be helpful. But if it doesn't, it goes to exile zone and catches out of account for us, so we get the 7 there quicker. Devouring Sugarmaw, 1/1 human creature and a food token from the adventure side, and then when it comes to play, you may, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token. If you don't, tap Devouring Sugarmaw. Yeah, fine. But it's still sitting adventure land in its exile, so it's all good. Fell Horseman to return the creature cards, and then when it dies, it goes on the bottom of our library. Gonti, Lord of Luxury, is the classic one. Yeah, temporary exile. I'm aware of that, but it still does exile something for us. Grey Host Reinforcements is coming in from Lord of the Rings, if I remember correctly. When it enters the battlefield, exile target player's graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on the Grey Host Reinforcements equal to the number of creature cards exiled this way. So you can have a big flying warded creature that's exiled a load of stuff to make Ketra even more attackable. Yeah, okay then. Happy with that plan for 4 mana, sorry. Mistborn Griffin, when it dies, exile it and then return the top creature card of our graveyard to the battlefield. Nice. Another way of getting exile on the go. Archon of Justice is put into the graveyard from play. Remove target permanent from the game. It now actually has been edited to say exile target permanent. I think it might have been... No, I think it's still just target permanent. I don't think it says non-land yet. I'll check. I'll let people know. Pegasus Guardian, yeah. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. So, yeah. Blinky to gain, lose a life and draw a card. Happy with that plan. And at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, create a 1/1 white Pegasus creature token with flying. So maybe we can swarm the air with some Pegasus. Who knows? Finally, Realm Cloak Giant, just to give us an extra Wrath of God effect in the deck, which can eventually become a 7/7 with Vigilance, which I'm happy about. Now, I did mention blinking, and we have a few. So we've got Cloud Shift and Ephemerate. I'm not going to go through them, you've seen them before. We've got Path to Exile and Source to Plowshares to just basically help us exile things from people's playland, and exile helps with Ketra. Stumbling Block, Shamble Backsaw is quite good fun. We exile a creature card from a live. We get a Zokin token, 2/2 zombie, and we gain 2 life for 2 mana, for 1 black mana, which I thought was quite fun. Decking Stone, exile target creature and all other creatures its controller controls with the same name as that creature. Seen a lot more of the landfall green creatures at the moment that produce copies of themselves, so hence why it's here. We'll take it out that way, but if we just have to take out 1 creature for 2 mana, we just take out 1 creature. That's fine. Exercise, just another way of exiling. Same with Radiant Purge. We've got a few ways of exiling in this slots here. Acrobatic Remover lets us blink and draw. Anguish Unmaking, just exile target non-land permanent. We lose 3 life. We had to have this here to deal with anything annoying. Eerie Interlude just lets us exile any number of our creatures and return to the battlefield under our control at the beginning of the next end step. Nice way of drawing that 1 card and saving all our creatures. Exercise the Imperfect, just exile target permanent, and okay, so your opponent gets to incubate X, but we'll cope with that, that's fine. Forsaken the Worldly, just exile target artifact enchantment, but doubles up as a little bit of cycling draw if we need it to. Legion of Actu Ashes, exile target non-land permanent, opponent controls, and all tokens with the player controls with the same name. So yeah, fine, go with that. Pillar of Light, exile creature with toughness 4 greater. Reduced to memory, exile non-land, they get 3/2 spirit. Vanquish into Eternity, exile target non-land permanent. It costs 3 more to cast if it targets a creature, so a little bit of expense, but it can be used to take out those annoying artifacts and enchantments, planeswalkers, well, basically anything that isn't a creature or land, really. So, yeah, go for it. Appropriation, sorry. Exile target non-land permanent. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend colourless mana as though it were mana of any colour to cast that spell. Yeah, whatever. Just a way of taking out stuff that's annoying us. Done. Repile the vial. Exile power target creature power 4 grey 1 enchantment. Utter End just exiles any non-land permanent. Rathagod controls the board along with Sunfoil, which exiles all creatures. So hopefully that means we do get to hit the Ketramose thing. It does exile Ketramose. Just bear that in mind when you cast this, because it's exile, not destroy. So bear that in mind. So you will, if you've got play this when you've got Keter in play, you will have to replay Keter for 5 mana possibly. And finally, Unburial Rites. White-black, haven't played any reanimation for a while in any of my white-black decks, so this is here today to help us out, get the creatures back as they die off. Artifacts is purely ramp. I'm not going to go into this too much because it's just there. We've got Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Elixir of Immortality, stuff everything back in when it goes pear-shaped. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Diamond, Medallion, Talisman, and Thought Vessel. Pure ramping artifact slot today, nothing fancy there. And then we have 2 enchantments that have adventures on them. Virtue of Loyalty, which gives us a way of building up our creatures to win with its combat. And Virtue of Persistence, as well as killing something on the adventure side. It then nicks everyone else's creatures to give us their win conditions instead. Beyond that, we have all of the lands you'd expect to see in such a deck as this. They're all here, black and white all the way through. The monetary cost of the deck is high because I haven't got Scrubland in here, so I have one of my MTGO collection, which, as you can see on MTGO, is half the price of a shadowy backstreet. No idea why. But yeah, so anyway, hence why it's here. But if you're playing this in real life, drop this, play another, whatever you want to play in that slot instead. We have got a Borg in here. I've also got a Mirror in here because we've got 8 planes. I figured it's worthwhile, as long with all the other things that class as planes. So yeah, it makes sense to me. And that's it. That is my take on Ketramose, the New Dawn. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can, if there's anything you think I've missed off, let me know down below. Again, as I said in yesterday's video, I'm trying to get ahead because I'm looking at moving, so there's going to be a period of time where I can't get things up and running on here and streaming wise while we wait for new internet connections and so all the rest of it. So I may have missed some of the new cards from the new spoilers as they come through. So if I have, let me know in the comments down below when you see this video, and we can always go in and edit the deck and do an update when I get back to streaming, hopefully. If you haven't seen the video, it'll be soon. Let's put it that way. But for now, you have a great day. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And let me know in the comments what you should be doing. And thank you if you can subscribe. Really do appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.